Mayam Owoduni. Welcome to AM Cafe. I am your host for this morning. You can join us on StarTimes 113 and Free TV 502 and all our social medias as Osun State Broadcasting Corporation and OSBC TV. Good morning once again. This morning we have Comrade Asimi Olaitan. He is a social analyst in the studio, and we are discussing the Lagos State ban teachers from flogging students. That is what we are discussing this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, Osun. Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Africa.
Thank you for joining us in the studio this morning, sir. Sir, the Lagos State government has banned teachers from flogging students, and it has sparked a heated argument and debate in the society. Some argue that this move will lead to decline in discipline and respect for authorities, while some others see that as a step forward to protecting children's rights and promoting a more human approach to education. Sir, what is your view on this?
Good morning once again.
Good morning, sir.
Before a government can take a decision abolishing a policy or implementing a policy, I think what matters most is go by the history. What the flogging activities started by an instructor in China, 18th century, by John Chung-hee. It wasn't a teacher, but an instructor in a construction company training the pupils. So the man now brought a stick, but he observed that the children pay attention whenever he hold that stick, that they started to do something better. Without instructing them, just hold that stick, you observe that they always pay attention to what they are doing. At times you go to that hall without holding anything, but you know, until he's instructing them verbally before they can do it. That's what brought the idea of holding a cane, flogging the pupils or the students in the school. Peradventure, if the state government of the Lagos State now deem it fit, abolishing it, there must be a parameter, there must be a replacement to that particular punishment. However, going by our culture, we have not a cobra punishment. We can call it a culture, a traditional punishment, where the Yoruba do say, according to say this, siga obo, ijoko dera. You understand? When you are very young, you raise your right leg, you put your right hand, and you make sure your thumb must be in your mouth, and you stroll. By doing that, it's part of a punishment. But because of the copy and paste of the Western world, our forefathers begin by the idea of British, those who colonial us, by using cane. But since then, the cane has played a big role flogging the children. But the only issue we are facing in society today is people are misusing it, the opportunity. So instead of abolishing it, I'm appeal to the state government of Lagos State that they should build a kind of modalities, a kind of amendment, a kind of modeling. If it is just two for those who came late to the school, if it's just one for those who refuse to do the assignment, if it's just two for those who pass a corridor that is not belong to, you understand? They have just to review it, not abolishing it completely. Because it will be an issue to teachers. There's no measure you can use to correct the children. In my car, I have pankere. You can't do it pankere. They call it pankere. I have in my car. Remember in the school today, I was telling them, please, if you don't give, I said, please, but daddy, don't use pankere. You understand? Yes. I'm telling you, it played a big role. But we can apply a kind of motivation, the modern world. A kind of motivation, a social way of correcting children, counseling. But that key, it has become part and parcel of our culture. Are you getting it?
I understand. Yeah. So now that the bill is out and they've said, okay, this is what they want. Well, this is what the Lagos State government wants. And people say they want it to. Most people want it to. How are they going to train the teachers? to ensure discipline is implemented?
What? It is time for Nigeria government, not only Lagos State alone. Before, when we were secondary school, there is an office called Councillor's Office, where they counseling the students based on performance. Everybody want to be in science class. I remember vividly when I told them, our counselor, when I was secondary school, I want to be in science. When I look at me, your mathematics is weak. You cannot be in science because the largest percentage of the sciences subject are workers. And I know you when you are in just 1 to 3, go to this department. And today I'm excel. So the idea, it is time for the government to create a particular office back to the educational system, counselor's office. So the counselor needs, even not only one, at least the government will employ like 5, 2 for middle school, 1 to 3 for the senior school. Are you getting it? Design them for a particular arms. Let them go to the class, add it to their periods. Let them go to their class, talk to them, and they should bring back the history as a subject. So by doing that, I think the idea of want to abolish the flogging the students, the motivation, moral talk, and some other way of correcting them can work along with the reducing, or I'm not by the idea of abolishing it completely. But I love the idea of not using it in a bullying way. Use it in a responsible, in a justification way.
Interesting. What role will parents play in reinforcing positive behavior and discipline?
What? I give it to women, my opposite gender. The woman hold the whole. In most especially in an economic situation like this. And I want to appeal to every parent, both man and the woman, both grandma and grandfather. We need to pay attention, not only your word, in a society we find ourselves. Apologies to say this once again. You want to say, the meaning is the children of a particular parent, the society, the people in the society will be watching them. Like what I did yesterday, I saw 2 students on the road after the rain yesterday pressing for 2 girls, and I see the phone. I have to call their parents. Where are you coming from this time? Then we late. We were running for the rain. We were this and that. At least for that 5 minutes intervention, it can come a lot. Are you getting it? So it is time for every individual in our society that we should pay attention, not only our children. And meanwhile, if you are trying to protect your children only, those children you refuse to train will not allow them to rest in the nearest future. And the future is not far. I'm telling you.
The future is not far. What alternative discipline method will be implemented in schools, and how will they be evaluated for effectiveness?
And if the government really mean the business, they should create a motivation method. Motivation method in the sense that if I'm taking mathematics as a teacher, having 30 students in my class, 10 students perform excellently, the government should design a policy along the ANCOPS, the principal association. The 10 students who perform excellently, by the following time, we give them this book, or book free, if it is 2-2. The remaining whereby during out of 30 in the CA, they would like to score 25 as well. So gradually, that is 1. 2, grouping system. In a school of 1,000 students, no matter how the bad of society, we will still have 200, 250 students who are doing well. Create a mentor system. The maintainers are the students, the mentors are the teachers. Grouping them, use those who are having a good behavior, use them as a group leader. Gradually they will be influencing each other. Before you know it, the 1,000 students you have as a principal in your school, before you know it, the 850 or 950 will become a moral and a good children in society. And that is enough. That's the system.
Do you think this will be very, very effective?
I'm convinced to you. Let me tell you this. When you get low, those nowadays children, during this Ramadan, if you're a Muslim, tell your words under 10 years, or 10 years, or 9 years, or 10 years. I don't know what Afars are saying about the age of the fasting, who can fast. Tell them, if you can fast today, I'll buy you bobo. Look at how small bobo is. 200 naira. And I will buy you a milk. You take a complete a tin of milk, 700 naira. The children, if you do not waking up to eat in the midnight, we will tell you when the day break. My mom, I'm not eating. That is motivation. And by definition of motivation, it's just control people, deny. Are you getting it? Drive them to do the right thing. Is an inner drive. If we can design a good motivation, I'm telling you. Another example is this: the school resumed by 7:20, the assembly starts by 7:40 or 7:45, depends on the curriculum of the schools. If it is by 7:40, for those students who are always come earlier, who are always been in school punctually, at the end of the session, give them the prize on assembly ground. Call them on notice. Unlike you happen to be the most punctual student of the year, give me scholarship. The following year, you see every parent will wait their reward. I need the money. Yeah, go to school. I want you to win a scholarship as well.
There should be reward for good behavior.
I'm telling you. As we are punish those who have the bad attitude, there must be a reward for those who are doing well as well.
But how will schools ensure that these alternative discipline methods are fair, consistent, and respectful?
That is why I do tell government, we can only have a better society when you cater for teachers. I've been saying this long ago. I've been advocating for this. You can only have a better society until you cater for teachers. Teachers that you want them not to be flogging students anymore. In a class of 120 students in public school, in a class of 80 students, where such a teacher will take 5 hours a day, will mark assignment, give them an assignment. How do you expect such a teacher to go? But when you motivating them, they will do it. Are you getting it? And I'm happy to teachers as well. Yesterday I was talking to one of my schoolmates in secondary school. I don't want to mention that teacher's name here. I was telling him, we need to see that teacher. We need to at least do something for him. He was one of our teachers who made us today. And I know they are collecting a penny then. Are you getting it? There's no resources, there's no money. They don't steal money in teaching profession. But I know there's a reward for it. And the reward is very much close to them. My set in secondary school, we are deemed it free to buy something for our teacher. Let me say it, we are deemed to buy a car. Imagine. Since then, the man not use car. We do see him working with leg here and there. But we appreciate what he did for us. But this is modern world. If you're a teacher and you do well, I'm telling you, you will see it from your children. Hardly you see a teacher children without making it in society. See it as a noble job. See it as a job you are called for. So don't wait for the government motivation. Do it on your own. Do it in a way that between you and your Almighty God will be satisfied in your concepts. So that's my advice for teachers.
Interesting. On the impact on student behavior, sir, how will the ban on flogging impact student behavior, particularly in terms of reducing violence and aggression?
Well, on that, I'm not saying that measures as can reduce, that can curb the attitude of our pupils. I'm telling you, I'm just appealing to the government. Don't abolish it completely. And I appeal to those who are misusing the opportunity. Let that be the policy. Let that be the rules and guide relating to how many cane can a pupil receiving on a particular punishment? If it is on late comer, if just one, give them one warning. On refusing to do assignment, if it's just by hand, one. If it is by and butter, two. Are you getting it? There's no way you reducing it or you abolishing it completely. There's no way you abolish it completely. You will not enjoy this society. Teacher will not rest in school. Placing a cane on your table, it is honor. When they come for the attendance or they come for the marking of their assignment, you see them without telling them behave well. For those who always losing their shirt, you will see them dressing properly. Holding a cane in school compound speak a lot. When you hold a cane in school compound, I'm telling you, you will see the student running here and there, most especially during the long break. After the long break, you are expecting them to be in the classroom after the timekeeper has rang the bell. You don't need to talk. Just hold a cane and say, hey! You see them running here and there. The only thing I don't love about the holding the cane is those in what's it called, the British people who colonizing us were using their cane for our forefathers. That's why they take them to sugarcane farm and say, hey, hips obey, hips obey. When they don't obey, they use that cane. It is idea they brought from the Chinese people by Jochen Him, the man I mentioned earlier. But we are not saying they should using it in a bullying way. This is the teaching is a profession. I do say it. I've never seen a profession like teaching. The teaching is a profession that your brain will be working all along. You will know what is going on in society. You are conservant. You know what is going on. You are building the nation. You are building the society. Are you getting it? So it is. I'm happy to government. Please don't abolish it completely. Don't. There's no way the student will not listen. Even at home, the way we are grooming our children these days. I know, Miriam, when we are very young, you don't dare you to take your grandfather television. You don't call it. But now we are doing competition. Whenever you want to listen to SBC or NTA News, you have to persuade them. You have to tell them, please, leave your cartoon. Let me, or you tell them, I will off generator. You don't allow me to listen to news. You understand? That's motivation. You motivating them, I'll buy fuel if you allow me to watch my news. Are you getting it? So the government should create a policy that will come in form of motivation to students, but they should not abolish it, flogging the children. Another one is this: if you are abolishing it, you remember we have a part. There was a case in the same Lagos State where a teacher slapped, what is it called, slapping the 3 years boy like 3-4 times. There's a way of bullying, many ways. Apart from using the cane. But just create a policy and motivating the teachers. If you are motivating the teachers enough and giving them the same, allow them to go for seminar, workshop. I must confess to you, since 2020 now, no, let me say since 2000 now, this is 25 years. We have some of teachers who have never attended a full classroom seminar. How do you expect such a teacher to be applying modern method? I get it. Yes. It's time for government, and it's take them batch by batch. Give them orientation, seminar, workshop. Even if you are holding a cane, there's a way using cane. We have seen a situation in private school here in Oshobo. The teacher mistakenly, today the guy is blind now. But I say, when you take them to a seminar, the resourceful person will tell them, you don't need to forget them. Just hold it and hold it like this. Or you just hold it like this. There will be an instruction. And once they follow that policy, the idea gaining from that seminar, before you know it, you cannot be reducing the pancreas of the thing. Moving it from the ground. Are you getting it? Reducing it from our society gradually. But you cannot say moving it at once. Even once the students know there's no more using pancreas in their schools, they can decide to be using jungle. You know when we are called jungle when we are secondary school, you've not taken the normal route until assembly, until after the assembly, you take another route. But because you know nobody will flood you, or you will just ask you to kneel down, You need that and 10, 5 minutes, they ask you to go to your classroom. Are you getting it? I want to say this, the modern method, the traditional method, using your leg up, your right hand, and you hold your tongue. The teachers will apply it as well. And there's one, I don't know how to call this, we call it idoko dera. That one pay most. Or you drive a bicycle at the wall. Are you getting it? You drive within 5 minutes, you'll be sweat. You'll be telling you what you don't do. My dad, I'm sorry. Are you the one that does it? Yes, I'm the if you are not the one. Because you want them to release you at that moment. The teachers will apply that traditional method as well. So let us be applying another method before we abolish it completely. By applying another method, we now be reducing it gradually. By telling, before the teacher do talk, the pupils, whenever they resume, being 1K. Are you getting it? So when the students are not aware of bringing more K, but they know there's a discipline more than flogging them. Are you getting it? They would aware of replacement. But without replacement, we shouldn't try it.
Thank you, sir, for that detailed explanation. What lessons can be learned from other countries or jurisdictions that have banned physical punishment in schools?
You see, that is what we are facing in Africa. That's why I said copy and paste. The idea of copy and paste is not working here. Let me tell you something. I'm a researcher. You cannot expect a doctor in Ukraine or US come to Nigeria and practice an essay. Ask me why. In Ukraine, they don't have mosquito. They fumigate. In US, they don't have mosquito. They fumigate. So when there's such a person that come here, placing in Ashuria Road General Hospital, and people now do come in, mosquito, malaria, you just be thinking of what is happening to these people. You just be giving them description, different drugs. Are you getting it? But when you pick somebody who came from Isalosu, who came from Ejibo, or you came from Ila or Ede, as a medical doctor working in Oshobo, he knows or she knows how he was brought up. Are you getting it? So it is time we go to base. We go back to our culture. Are you getting it? Let's apply the traditional way of disciplining our children, the way our forefathers did. Although some of them using a bullying method, like using blade, whatever you steal, using pepper. Are you getting it? They should not use that one anymore. It is a woman. It is totally against the child. It is complete child abuse. I'm not supporting that. But this idea of raising leg and using a hand, are you getting it? Is a good idea. But they should not copy the Western world. They are not living well good at that area. I'm telling you. It is time we go back to our culture. Let's apply the system our forefathers have been doing. When you are going on street, you see a broken bottle on the road. You pick it, you place it at the dumping site. That's part of our culture. In Western world, they don't do it because they know there are some people working on it. They will come and picking it. Are you getting it? Time to go back to base. Time to go back to our norms and culture, our traditional way of doing things. And I want to say this: if we do that, we'll have a better society.
On a final note, sir, how will schools ensure that students receive the support and resources they need to succeed, particularly in terms of mental health services, counseling, and academic support?
Well, on that note, I want to appeal to every parent, most especially the public school parent. Teachers are always with your children just 8 hours within 5 days. 8 hours times 5 days within a week. The rest hours your children are with you. And I want to say this. That's why I give it to the woman. Women are the first teacher to child. The mother. Mother at home. Make sure your children learn something good from you. The way you hear, the way you talk to your husband, the way you talk to your neighbor, your children inculcate such an attitude. and they apply it outside. And I want to appeal to teachers as well. Training these children the way you are brought up your children. Have it in mind that they will make your children's own way. When I was in teaching profession, since early years, I have some of my students who are the teachers of my children today. The way I brought them up then, the way I teaching them, one of them told my children that your fathers are role model. Your father is a role model. So I want you to know this, and you must know it. And I can never forget the role your father played in my life. That is how I want the teachers to do it. The children will not forget the role you play in their life. Bear it in mind, and you will achieve.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you once again for joining us this morning. Comrade Asimi Olaito. He is a social analyst, and he's telling us that he is of the opinion that flogging of children in school should not be completely banned. My name is Mariam Owoduni. To the crew member in the studio this morning, thank you once again. Bye for now.